Hi, my name is Rav Norin. I teach in Pninei or Tanakh and Tefillah, about prayer. I want to share with you a little bit about this week's Parashat, this week's Torah portion, which is Parashat Hanan. And the 10 Commandments are repeated in this week's Parashat. Moshe, on his last days of his life, is giving over the important messages of the Torah to the people of Israel, and he repeats the 10 Commandments. Now, the 10 Commandments that are mentioned here in Parashat Hanan are very similar to the 10 Commandments that are mentioned in Yitro, with one major difference. In Yitro, the first time the 10 Commandments are mentioned, it says that the mitzvah of Shabbat is different. The mitzvah of Shabbat here says, Shabbat, you should remember Shabbat and keep it a holy day. Why? Because 6 days God created the world, and the 7th day He rested, and therefore He blesses the holy day to be sanctified. And in the Parashat Hanan, He says that we should rest on the 7th day because we were slaves in Egypt. We were slaves in Egypt, and remember that we should let our slaves have a day of rest, unlike what the Egyptians did to us. Why does Moshe change the reason Shabbat is we celebrate Shabbat? In the book of Exodus, it's connected to the creation of the world. In the book of Deuteronomy, it's about our freedom. So Shabbat might have many reasons, and there might be different aspects of Shabbat. But just to remember, the book of Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy, it starts off that Moshe says, I'm going to now explain the Torah to you. The Torah has to be explained to every generation differently than the last generation. In one generation, one reason is more prominent. In the next generation, another reason makes more sense. The people going to Egypt, who left Egypt, had to know that we're all equal. That God created us all equally, whether we were slaves or whether we're Egyptians, masters. And therefore, that was the reason given for Shabbat. But Moshe says that reason has another, Shabbat has another idea. When you go into the land of Israel, he's talking to the generation to go to the land of Israel, you're going to become landowners. Don't forget that you were also slaves. And you should treat your slaves and servants with the freedom that you would have wished that people treated you. When Moshe explains the Torah to this generation, he gives them the reason for Shabbat as a new reason that's relevant for them. Shabbat Shalom.